Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we've got an exciting episode. We're going to be taking a look at the POF Revolution piston gun in 308. Let's get to shooting. Let's take a look at what we are talking about for the day. We are taking a look at the POF Revolution. This is chambered in 308 and I have the piston version. They now have a direct impingement version of the gun, which I believe does save a little bit of weight. This thing comes in at just under 8 pounds, so a little bit heavy, but as you can tell, this is sort of a unique design. Okay, let's talk about some of the unique aspects of this gun. So one, first off, is that it is a piston instead of direct impingement gun. Even though it really looks like it, you can tell up at this end of the rifle, there is some things that look like it is the gas tube. It also, for a piston gun, short stroke piston, it does have a buffer tube and normal buffer weights. They say don't use normal ones, you have to use theirs. They also have some ways that you can use some other aftermarket parts in their rifle, but really stick to what they have, because they claim it won't work with traditional sizes. The other unique aspect, much like the POF Rogue, but the POF Revolution was the first in their series to do this. It's basically an AR-15 style receiver, lower receiver, but a larger magwell. As you look, this is for the 308, so we get a 308 magazine in it. This is the 5.56, you can tell the difference, so it's just basically the magwell is bigger. Everything else is really about the same size as an AR-15. They were the first ones to do that. They later come out with the POF Rogue, which what I believe is really the predecessor to the Ruger SFAR. And it's a much lighter weight package, coming in less than 7 pounds, and I think it's even less than 6 pounds. So very lightweight package. This rifle here is not that. It's coming in at less than 8 pounds. So not horrible, but it is still not a super lightweight rifle. Some other unique aspects that they have is they have this very tightly integrated hand guard that's integrated and dovetailed into the upper receiver. So integrated meaning it's not a solid piece, but it is dovetailed, meaning that it cannot twist on it. In fact, look, if you'll notice this, that the upper is a separate piece that can be taken off. There are screws in there that you would have to take out to remove that, but that allows you to have an integrated top rail. You can tell that there's no rail space, but you can add rail, Picatinny rail onto that. There are slots up here that you can screw them in and add more if you want to put any IR or other laser aiming devices on your system. ADD brake, the words of made famous by Brandon Herrera. Don't think there's any real purpose in this, but we're going to shoot 308 into the gel. It's some 150 grain soft point. Let's shoot it. Dang, I'm not even sure what this black crap is coming out of the top. Something had to have left like a big shard. Look at that, that's as big as like a 9mm coming out of there. That's where the wound track is, the big black one. This gel block is not a lot of it is going to be salvageable. We'll just leave it at that. Continues along here, and I think it just smoked through the rest of the gel. We'll have to watch it on replay, but I'm not seeing any of it in the target. All right, well, I thought this smoked all the way through. It actually made it to about this mark over here, which is about the 24-inch mark. Let's take a look at this round. It's a little hot to the touch, but wow, that's kind of cool. Stick it up here again, out to about 0.75. So it went from about 0.3 out to about 0.75-ish, maybe a little bigger, 0.8. 0.75. That soft point is a decent round. That's the Federal Fusion soft point, 150 grain. Dumped a lot of energy. You'd have to delete all that meat that it went through, but whew, that did a pretty decent job. So another unique aspect is really the slide or the bolt catch and bolt release. So on this other side of it, it has the typical paddle, so you can pull your bolt back, lock it on this side as you would a normal AR-15 or LR-308, and then when you hit this paddle, it releases the bolt and will chamber around. Another unique thing though about this is that it has ambidextrous, so you can hit it on this side and that will release the bolt. And then as you're pulling back inside the trigger guard, there is another bolt catch. So as you're pulling back, you can actually push up into there and that will catch it. So there's a little tab in there that you push up in. Some people say, oh, I don't like it, but I can tell you after just a couple of times of shooting it, and then I go to my other rifles, I'm like, where is it? I like that. It's kind of a neat little system. That does bring up one of the challenges. You get used to this. You may not be used to others, but those are all training things. I tend to think like, look, hey, if you drive, there are people that drive in England, there are people that drive in the US, and you just get used to driving a different system. Right side of the road, left side of the road, you can get used to the controls being in different spots just with training and familiarity and repetition. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then of course, again, you can release it right above your finger, so you can pretty much keep all your controls in while your hand is here and here with just that finger. So that's pretty nice type of system for it. So why don't we break this down and look at the inside. So the first thing I want to point out is this is my Aero Precision M5, and as you look and you line these up together, these are the size differences that you can see. So they have the same magwell size. You can tell how much longer the LR308 or Aero M5 is than the POF. And again, that's because it really is sitting in an AR-15 style operating system. So you can tell it has their POF drop-in trigger in there. This trigger is just super nice, very crisp, very light. Hardly any, there's no take up on that at all. There's zero movement of the trigger. You push past a little bit, like 2 or 3 pounds, then boom, you're there. So very nice trigger, I would say. Next, let's just take a look at this bolt. So there are some unique designs. So it looks like a regular AR-15 bolt, but as you'll notice, there's no gas key. That's because it's a piston. And if you can hear this thing in here, the thing sliding back and forth is the piston in there going back and forth. Right, and that pushes this bolt carrier, and that goes back into the very traditional type of buffer tube and buffer spring at the other end of this rifle. I do believe that it does take pretty standard like grips that you could change that out with. But again, this is very lightweight. I've heard that they have a tremendous coating on it, and in my experience in shooting it a couple times, it really just doesn't get dirty. If you look here, it has a very unique cam pin design. Again, you can take this down just like a normal AR-15 bolt, but this round cam pin design is supposed to reduce wear. So this whole gun from the bottom to the ground up was just designed for reliability and durability and performance out of it. Taking a look inside the rifle, it looks like, again, this piston, as it's coming back and forth, that's what moves around and drives that bolt carrier group. That's not a gas tube in there, but rather the end of the piston. And again, very similar controls and aspects or look and feel to what might be a regular AR-15. Some just really nice things. It does have ambidextrous sling points here towards the back. It came with a pretty nice muzzle brake, and in my shooting of this video, you're going to see that. This is the muzzle brake that it came with. I believe it was this is the top, and it shoots gases to the sides. I now have a Xeno mount on here, so I can run this with one of my dead air suppressors. Okay, so that wraps up our tabletop. Let's roll in the footage of how we did at the range. All right. These are the very first shots with the POF Revolution. Let's see what you've gotten yourself into, trigger bar. for 6 shots. It's working. That makes me a happy camper. Okay, we're at about 10 yards. He's the next 14 rounds. So I've shot a box of 20. It's AAC 150 grain ammunition. We're just going to try and get off 2 sets of maybe 5-round bursts. We'll see if trigger bar can stick to that. And yeah, so why don't we start the clock? All right, I got 4 shots. My splits were 0.25. It took me 1.3 seconds to get on. Doing 4 shots, I guess, at a time. So we feel like 1.25 to the first shot, 0.24 the first split. Let's do it again. And I shot 6 times that time. 1.2 again to get up, and 0.23 split. Rifle is working good. I tried aiming at a little bit different spot. I tried moving up, and then things got away from me a little bit, so maybe I'm going a little bit too fast. But first box of ammo down the chute. POF Revolution. Recoil, boy, I think you can feel it. It's not bad. This brake is, I'm sure, a beast. I can hear it echoing for miles down the canyons. I don't think this brake is going to make you any friends at the range. Of course, I don't think any brake is going to make you any friends at the range. But in terms of shootability of this 308, very good. The rifle has a decent bounce, maybe a little bit more front heavy because of that piston out front. I wanted the piston for more reliability. Kind of sick of futzing with 308s that don't have reliability. Super excited. This is running great out of the box. Why don't we take it back, get it sighted in. We'll take it out to range and see how we do there. Okay, well, we have the gun out at 100 yards. So far, we've still only tested the AAC 150 grain. We've tested some Federal Fusion soft point, just like that one shot into gel. So far, rifle is functioning great. We've shot the full 20 rounds. I've shot another, we've shot probably 25 rounds since sighting it in at about 50 yards. Let's shoot a 5-shot group without touching the dial, see what it does. This looks like a 3 MOA gun. Claims it has an MOA accuracy. I'm sure that's on a 5-shot group with premium ammo. I would not consider 150 grain FMJ from AAC to be premium ammo. And these are 5-shot groups. But this is I'm gonna probably mostly be shooting this in my hand loads. My hand loads are very similar to this AAC ammunition. That went way low and to the right. It's jumping. Aim in the same spot. It's jumping around a little bit. A little more consistent. Can't tell if those are all 3 in the same spot or if one jumped over. I think it is. I think those 3 are all in the same spot. That's pretty cool. And hey, the gun is operating flawless. 0 hookups. I'm not tried adjusting gas one way or another. Have it on the normal setting. It's got 5 settings. Normal, adverse, 0 gas, suppressor, like suppressor setting 1, and then suppressor normal. So those are the settings on it. It's kind of weird. I think it's more like a gas regulator rather than turning it on and off. And so they have different holes with different amounts of gas for it to come through. So that allows it to do it. It's okay in terms of setting it. It locks in, which is great for not seeing it move. You have to actually push a detent in order to move it, but it's a little bit hard. So it's not rapid adjustment. Okay. Overall impressions of the POF Revolution. This is my first shots, all been documented here. Super excited about that. So far, I'm super excited. The recoil is not bad on this thing. I am sure that brake does a lot of it. remember when I shot my Ruger S-FAR for the first time, I was surprised at how much recoil it was, and it was absolutely chewing up cases. We have a few of our cases here, and there is zero signs of any kind of wear on them. I absolutely would reload these again. You know, I just don't see anything wrong with these cases at all. Ejection pattern's a bit odd because, again, this is a piston gun, so I'm not exactly sure where the piston should be ejecting these. So that's kind of a new thing. We'll have to pay attention and watch out for that. So the one way I'd describe it is if an AR-15 and an AK-47 had a baby and the baby was twice as big as them, then this would be it. Because this is a 308 system. It's bigger than the AR-15. It's bigger than the AK-47, but it's just got kind of like a hybrid stuff. Very innovative stuff. This is not a new rifle. Been out since, what, 2016? Something like that. But the folks at POF make high-quality systems, so very happy with that. So, yeah, I plan to test a whole bunch of ammunition, see how I can get with accuracy with this, see how, again, I wouldn't judge any of this accuracy with it. This is just first shots. It does recommend a couple hundred rounds of break-in, and so I'll just be doing that, and I'll be seeing what I get as I make those changes. Let me know what you guys think about this system. Let me know if you have other POF systems. They have kind of one that's like the HK416, that's an AR-15 type rifle. Very solid, very well done. There's videos of Iraqi veteran 8888 doing a meltdown with 3,000 rounds of full auto with their AR-15 5.56. So it's a solid rifle system, solid company, all American made, everything machined in-house. So yeah, so super excited about that. Let me know what you guys want to see in this series. Super excited to bring it to you. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's get to shooting.